This episode of the Neurodivergent Experience is brought to you by RTN Mental Health Solutions. With up to a 5-year waiting list for autism and ADHD assessments via the NHS, and that's even if you get a referral from your GP, getting an assessment in the UK has never been harder. So if you're like me and can't wait anymore, going private may be the best option for you. RTN offers online assessments for kids aged 6 right up to adults, with prices starting at £900. To make it more accessible, RTN can offer payment plans up to 5 months. You can access their remote services from the comfort of your home anywhere in the UK, and RTN offers group and one-to-one counselling, a private route to access ADHD medication following the assessment, and will even fight for you if your GP doesn't accept the results. So if you live in the UK and can't wait to get an assessment, go to www.rtnmentalhealthsolutions.com and use the discount code RTN23, making it even more affordable for all of our listeners to get an autism and ADHD assessment.
Hello and welcome to the Neurodivergent Experience. I'm Jordan James, also known as the Autistic Photographer, and I am live in person here with my very gorgeous co-host, Simon Scott.
Hello, we are in the same room. This is only the second time we've ever been in person together. And this week, guys, we're talking about addiction. So this is genuinely the first time we've ever recorded together in person. Hello. So this is going to be a bit of an experience. One of the reasons we're doing this, though, is because we need to practice for our bloody live show, don't we? That's coming up.
Oh, yeah. I think it's 20th. We're just going to keep doing this one, aren't we? 20th of September.
It's a Friday.
Friday. Free event, Autistic Minds in Cardiff City Stadium.
Yep.
And we will be there with our better halves, and we'll have a little setup, or a little table, where you can come and meet us and ask us about podcasts and ask us questions and things like that. And I'm hoping people turn up. Otherwise, my RSD will kick in hard. I'll be like, no one cares about me.
Yeah, this is the thing is we did talk about that, didn't we? Where I was like, oh, just think there'll be some people there that have not heard of us. And you were like, if I turn up and no one has heard of me, I'm going to be mortified. And I was like, well, no one's going to have heard of me, so I'm kind of going from a fresh start. But I forget you've had an entire career doing this before I jumped on board.
Yeah,
so.
I got recognised in Tesco's the other day, and the lady was just like really, really nice and chatting with me and, you know, talking about her son and how he's having troubles at school, you know, because, again, we're being let down by the system. And she told me some awful horror stories, and my heart really goes out to her and her family, as it does for every family out there who's struggling because of cognitive dissonance, let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, big shout out to all the parents out there. I mean, since we've talked about Joseph's story, some of the interaction that I've had has been mental, absolutely mental. Some of the stories that people have told me, and like, I'm even thinking about it now, and it just makes me upset. It's awful, and it's, unfortunately, guys, it's the one thing we all have in common.
It hurts me.
Is the struggle.
It actually, like, deeply hurts me, and I just keep on hearing it, and it's tough. I tell you, as an advocate that people reach out to, you know, people will stop me in the street, people will message me, they'll email me, and they're asking for help. And I tell you what, I can't. I wish I do this to help.
Yeah.
And you know, we put out the reels and I do my posts and I share my photography because I want to inspire people. That's how I help. I can't give you advice about what to do with your kids because I don't know the answer because I'm not a therapist and I don't know your kids. I mean, all I can say is that I'm trying to change things. I'm trying. And this is the only way I know how, is just speaking about things. Like I'm not an activist. I'm not going to start kicking down doors and making petitions.
I can't get out the door.
Yeah, exactly. I have a full-time job, and I also have autistic kids that, that even in their 20s, I'm still like a big part of their care routine and helping them and guiding them. And then I have this, and this is my way of changing things. And it's working because we are helping people.
Yeah, we really are. The helping people is the most amazing thing that I found coming out of this podcast. I didn't really realize I could help people with just my voice, just talking to people, just talking to you and sharing our stories and experiences. It is kind of crazy, the interaction that we get from doing this. Like, we started doing this by saying we want a podcast that we would listen to, that would help us, that would make us feel comfortable in our own skin and feel not alone out there, and feeling like there is a community out there waiting for us. And this is almost creating its own community. I was looking to just kind of feel recognized, and what I found from what this has changed my life, like in such a big way, being your friend and learning from you and your experiences, but also like talking about my own has changed my life. It has been a really therapeutic awakening for me. And the fact that having that conversation is, going into this microphone and going to you guys, and is having a big change in your life. And I feel overwhelmed almost talking about it, because while I'm thinking about the fact that what we're doing right now, just being your buddy and talking on a microphone and sharing my life with you is helping people. Like, the actual thought of me, Simon Scott, sat here on this sofa is helping somebody out there in the world just by having a friend like you and sharing my life I can't tell you how much it means to me. And it is a beautiful thing.
Like me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can't help it.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
It is, this is the thing, is I'm so used to talking to you in a screen.
You have to keep looking at the screen.
Having you right in front of me, I'm almost like,
I'm imagining a screen around your face just to help me get through it.
Great.
It's like I can't see you in real life. It just looks weird. Yeah, and I'm so excited that you're here. And we're going to do a few of these. Yeah, because we're in the same room, and he's got some time off, and my family are in Poland, and and I'm looking after the dogs, and this is how I was going to get through it, because I'm not good at being on my own. Like, I don't, I can spend lots of time on my own, but when I'm so codependent on just having people around, and also I do forget to do a lot of stuff, even on my ADHD medication, and you said this morning, like, together, the two of us remember like most things, except to go to co-op, which just keeps on. Three times we have driven past co-op.
I've been here 24 hours and 15 minutes,
and we've missed co-op 3 times. Like, I really need to go in there to buy something, and okay. So
what's
the episode? Cool. Let's go on with that. Addiction, and it's a weird one to start with because it's not fun. It's fun doing it, by the way. The things we're addicted to.
It's fun until you realise you're addicted.
Yes, and then it becomes a problem. Yeah, exactly. Twins.
You got me a Coke. Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm raiding you. I've raided your fridge already. That's why we keep needing to go to co-op.
So we got a little list. And for once, actually did some homework, and we were talking about this morning. Phones and social media.
Yeah.
It does seem to be the ultimate modern addiction. Obviously, it's not the worst out there, but it definitely seems to be the thing that most people are addicted to. And they don't even consider themselves addicted, because they just think, I'm just on my phone. Everybody's on their phone. I mean, every time, this is worrying. Okay. So every time I see a parent out with their kid on a stroller, they literally are on their phone. I don't remember a time where I haven't seen that. Now, look, I'm not judging that. I'm not saying they're bad parents.
No, not at all. No.
Because two people, you can do two things. And at the end of the day, your baby's in the stroller and you're strolling along.
We've talked about how we can do more than two things at once, and people think we're not listening, and get it.
So it's not a judgment on that. It's literally, I'm like, that's where we are. Like even a parent with their child
Well, it's an
present,
appendage, isn't it?
they're still on their phone, and that's where all of us are. And, I come away from my phone. Like I don't use it as much as I was. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that the algorithms changed on Facebook. Weirdly, for me, it became less fun, and I just didn't enjoy it as much. And I am struggling to get to post because I just don't really feel like it matters. I know it does. I know even one person matters, but it's weird because I literally got fixed on the idea of likes and reach and things like that. And now I'm just going, well, do you know what? I might post, I might still post, but I'm not going to spend all my time checking everything and seeing how well it did. And I'm just going to press post, and then I'm just going to get on with the things that I want to do. And I have to say, I've been a lot happier since I spend a lot less time on my phone. I mean, the last time I posted on Instagram was over a month ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So the only thing I do now is I literally go on Facebook, I check a few things, make sure everything's okay, do a couple of posts, and then I'm off it, and I don't even check it.
Yeah, I mean, you've made a really good point. You have seemed happier. Like that is something that I have just noticed in general with you. You just seem more upbeat about things and a lot more present, I'd say. I don't think you're worrying about things as much.
No.
And you acknowledged it today, and it's something that I've noticed with you today. You've not been on your phone at all. Whereas when I pick it up, it's really hard for me to put it down.
I didn't know where my phone was.
Yeah.
I actually had to go looking for it with the little search thing on my phone because I just put it down and I'm like, I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, and the remote control part of my brain is just gone, go find your phone.
I was
like, go find your phone. And now I'm like,
I don't care.
I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm addicted to my phone. I don't like to admit it. And I think we all are. It starts with my routine on my phone. I have my apps that I go through, and I have the ones I read in order. I get up in the morning, I roll over, I check our numbers, I check the charting numbers, I then check the other podcasts that I do and check their numbers. And then I go on The Athletic and check the breaking sports news. And then I will then drift onto Instagram, go on the news bit, and before you know it, I'm 10 reels deep and that,
and then sending them all to me.
Sorry, I know.
No, I don't mind.
But,
I don't mind.
But
I'll get round to them.
That is a way that I kind of communicate, though.
Yeah,
sending people stuff.
It's we noticed.
Yeah, it's like if I see something, it's like it's a lot easier for me to go, let me explain a joke I like without just monologuing and taking over a room, and then before you know it, I'm forming a whole routine I have rehearsed in my brain. And I've learnt the hard way that not a lot of people enjoy that other than me. So it's kind of, that is something that then I become super aware of, and then I just go mute and don't communicate at all. So I don't feel like people get to know me. So like a penguin bringing a pebble, I'm like, here's a funny ha-ha, get to know me. And I am really aware when I meet people or become friends with people, I have a habit of sending people things that I like. And then after a while, I realize that it's just like 3-4 deep of me. And then I get in my own head and just don't ever message them again.
Oh, no.
And
I think it's a good way of like explaining to people, this is what I'm into, because the the ones you use. This is how I think. This is like my political stance, because you might be sending ones that are, left, and which is where we are. We're very left. And, it is a way of communicating. It's a genuine way of communicating. And I do it myself. When I'm on Messenger, I'll send a lot of GIFs. And it definitely was the way that I became super best friends with my other brother, which is Rick, otherwise known as Pickle Rick. And it's how we communicate a lot. Like we don't, like you and I will talk on the phone. Like we call each other a lot, maybe 3-4 times a week. Yeah. Plus we're doing this as well, and we're chatting. And if we're not doing that, I don't remember a day I've not messaged you, maybe like once or something.
When you're in Canada.
Yeah.
It's literally been the only time since we started doing this that you haven't messaged me.
I forgot you existed.
That's
I
fine.
forgot.
That's okay.
I forgot humanity existed, and I just was looking for bears, and I barely even.
You literally just like walked out of the trees with your camera. You're like, oh, just saw real life again, and was like, oh, I've got to go back to that.
I've got to acknowledge other humans. That's what I don't consider you human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself human.
We are. I definitely feel like an alien.
Yeah, definitely. But like
an alternative human.
Yeah. But with the phone thing, because everybody else is on their phones, and a lot of people communicate through it. And with work, I'm always told like social media, and be present. And it's like keep posting and just bombard the algorithm until it listens to you and things like that. It's like even today I showed you, didn't I, with TikTok? I stayed on a couple of things and I watched the algorithm at work. It
was worrying how that read your phone, like literally just changing it as you were pressing it. It's scary. I mean, I'll never have TikTok on my phone ever, but you've obviously have to because of this. And like you're saying, you're getting addicted to those reels.
I'm not getting addicted to TikTok. It's Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
because I've always used Instagram. Doom scrolling. I like Instagram because I like pictures. I've always liked pictures, and I like a lot of information, and I get both with Instagram. I get a lot of news. I get a lot of like interesting history facts and historical photos. But then like there's philosophy on there and sports highlights, and I've lost an hour. It has the ability to tickle the part of my brain that just wants to know about sport and be present and have music and be in the know and feel like I'm on top of the zeitgeist and pop culture. And it just steals time. Like I had a bit of a debate with Karis where I was like, babe, you're always on Instagram. I embarrassed myself. I took the high ground and realized that I was low down in the pit because I was going, babe, you're not present. You're always on your phone, and like I wish you wouldn't like be on your phone as much and all of this sort of thing. And yeah, and then as a example, I went, so this is how you check how long you've been on Instagram all day, and turned on mine, and it said 4 hours, and literally my arse fell through the floor. It was like I can't believe I've been on Instagram for 4 hours today. I got loads done today. I did work, I did that, and then I thought about the in-between, and it was just like TV static. I had like no memory of it. I was like, crap, that's when I was on Reels.
Because how it works with the Reels is that, and what we were talking about yesterday, is that it will show you just ones that you just don't care about. And then so you're going to keep looking for that one that actually makes you stop and watch it, and maybe even go back and watch it again, because you've got that dopamine rush of, that's something I enjoy.
Yeah, totally.
And it's easier than a movie because you have to watch the whole movie to enjoy it. It's easier than watching a TV show because you've got to watch the whole TV show.
I like watching bits of films on
Instagram. Instagram.
Yeah.
It instantly gives you that gratification. It's instantly gram. And it's the same with Facebook Reels, TikTok, all these Reels. It's like searching for a really nice chocolate in like a whole bunch of crap chocolates.
It makes you sick, doesn't it?
Exactly, but you still want to find that good chocolate because it's so good, and that's what you're just going to keep scrolling until you find it, and that can just take hours and hours and hours. Because after you've had that hit, guess what you're going to do? You're going to keep scrolling and look for another one.
Yep,
they're literally dopamine shots that you're looking for on a reel. Especially if you have, I think I've done Doom. I've got caught in it 3 times ever, which I'm pretty impressed with.
I've done that today.
Yeah, because I soon realised after the 3rd time I did it, I like 45 minutes had passed, and it had not felt 45 minutes.
Yeah, and
I was like, "Whoa, I've just lost 45 minutes." And I was actually playing tell me if you do this, right? So I'm playing a game. And I go onto my phone to check my messages to see if Sylvia has messaged me, because I normally have the notifications turned off when I'm playing a game. So I'm in between levels and I'm like, I'll just have a quick look. I don't press on Messenger. I press on Facebook for some reason. It's almost like muscle memory. I didn't mean to press on Facebook. Suddenly I'm pressing on Facebook, and then I'm looking through Facebook, and then I'm checking my posts, and I'm like, this is not why I got on my phone. And I know that, and yet I'll come out and go, okay, I'm going to go on Messenger. I'll go, I better just check my bank account, or I better just check eBay, see if a message has come in, see maybe if that thing that I was going to buy is dropped in price.
It's like me going from wrestling news to football news to NFL, and then suddenly I'm back on Instagram again.
And that's it. You know, I went on my phone to look for a message, and suddenly I'm 3 or 4 different apps, and then I'm like, what happened to my game?
Do you have games on your phone?
No. That's the thing.
Me neither.
I don't have games on my phone.
To get rid of them.
I won't have them because I know how addictive my phone can be. And when you have a game on your phone, it's even more addictive because, again, it's that ease of access.
Yeah.
When you can get your phone anywhere, you can be anywhere and go, okay, I'm going to get that dopamine fix. But at home, you've got to make an effort of actually sitting down, putting your telly on, access. No, it's on your phone.
It's like having a revolver on your hip. It's just there. Whenever you need it, selling you crap.
Yeah. Because you're far more likely to use something if it's literally already in your hand than if you have to go and make an effort to go and find something to use.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why the phones are there. And the thing is that, you know, with modern society, there is always going to be something new.
Yeah.
You're never going to go through Instagram going, nothing new on Instagram. In the whole of Instagram, there's absolutely nothing. Of course, there's something new because it's every single day there's something new.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going to, and forgive me for this, by the way, a Herbalife meeting. I tried to get into like selling Herbalife when we were really, really poor. So you're talking about like 22 years ago. Like,
when pyramid schemes were at their peak.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was as soon as I realized it was a pyramid scheme, I was like, no. Yeah. But I didn't realize that until we went to this conference. Anyway, the interesting thing that I remember from that is the guy talking about people getting addicted to food, which is a very real thing.
Mm.
And it leads me to talking about that as well. But what he was talking about, he was saying with Pringles, every single Pringle. Now, I don't know if this is fact. I just know that this is what I was told at this conference. So it seemed like, why not it be fact?
Yeah, why not?
So if someone wants to fact check, that's fine. But apparently, each Pringle tastes slightly different. They have every single Pringle has like a slightly different molecular atom or whatever. It's slightly different to the crisp before that.
It's like the alternative crisp.
So you don't get the same flavor every single time. It's slightly changed.
Don't we have Pringles?
We ate them. And that's the thing. And that's why they literally said it in the advert. They were like, once you pop, you can't stop.
Yes,
and they were like, they were saying,
they didn't lie, did they?
No, they were like, we have made these that you're going to eat the entire thing in one go because it's just, you're looking.
And then that man with the mustache never told a lie, did he?
Yeah. So it was a bit of a wake up call because I've had a lot of issues with food. I'm definitely, you know, when I really get going, I can be very, very much addicted to chocolate. I think a lot of that stems from the fact that I was denied chocolate when I was a kid because apparently a hyperactivity caused by sugar. I was like, no. Interesting fact, most kids at parties that you think are getting hyper on the sugar are getting hyper on the energy and the excitement that they're at a party.
They're alive.
They're literally excited. And by the way, this is an effect. If one kid is really excited and starts screaming, other kids will then get excited and start screaming, and then all of them are excited and start screaming. It's literally a chemical balance in your head that literally you see some people do things and you start like literally copying them.
Like yawning.
Because like yawning, and that's what's happening at parties. So getting back to it, I was denied the sweet treat of chocolate and other things because of my hyperactivity, apparently. And so when I became a person who was able to buy things, it's called an adult, but
I'm still waiting for it to happen.
I refuse to take that label on board. I don't identify as an adult. And I was crazy. I just went out and ate everything I could because I was like, I can have all of these things now. No one can stop
That
me
was
now.
me at uni.
I ballooned.
Yeah, I was chunky.
Yeah, I ballooned because it's an addiction, and it's not necessarily an addiction to food. For me, it's an addiction to dopamine levels of getting that sweetness. It's not sugar. I mean, obviously people get addicted to sugar. Sugar is actually more addictive than cocaine. Like on a chemical level, it's actually more addictive than cocaine. That's why basically everyone in the world who has access to, everyday food, I guess, processed food.
Yeah.
They are addicted to sugar.
Makes sense. Definitely makes sense.
Yeah,
especially the way that some people go off.
Yeah, the sugar industry is probably one of the most powerful in the world.
I mean, we watched it in South Park, didn't we?
If we said it in South Park, we know it's true.
Yeah, it's kind of like
I'm not even saying that
the blue
sarcastically.
tick of info, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally like whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Matt and Trey just actually run the world, like secretly. But they're the good bits, not the bad.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen some footage in America recently where I was like, we are living in an episode of South Park.
Yes, the Hulk Hogan thing.
Just everything.
Oh, just literally
just the whole thing.
Everything in America makes us go, oh, my goodness me.
And speaking of America, we've had a lot of listeners from America recently.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. Hello, everybody. And also as well, if you're listening to this, I am really interested to hear how people are with their phones, how people are with sugar. So write into us and comment on posts and let us know, because I want to know I'm not alone.
Yes. I don't think a day goes by where I don't want at least some chocolate.
We're talking about it, and I can...
Yeah, we just went to the cinema, and I ate so much chocolate when we were in there, because I was like, now I can eat chocolate, I'm in the cinema. Isn't it weird that we can't make excuses like that, isn't it?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
I have an excuse for everything.
Like if I just sat in front of the fridge and started eating chocolate, I'd be like, this is a problem. But the fact is, as soon as I put a TV show on or a movie, I'm like, yeah, I think having chocolate now is fine. Both, by the way, are equally the same. Like sitting in front of the fridge eating chocolate isn't any better than sitting in front of the TV. You're doing the same thing. You just think you're better because you're saying, oh, I can do that now because I'm watching the TV.
Yeah, I've had a fair few Bridget Jones moments in my life, sat on the end of the bed under the duvet with a whole tub of ice cream. I've had those moments. I'm a comfort eater. So
big time.
You can literally look in photographs of when I'm having a bad time. Because I just would not gorge, but just dopamine hunt. Like nothing would make me happy in the outside world. So food just would be something that I would have, and it'd be just like can after can of fizzy drink. And then I'd go to the diet ones, and then it'd just be like, no, I'm not getting the same, not getting the buzz. And they ruined Lucozade Orange. Ruined it.
I like those alternatives. I could drink more of them.
Yeah, but this is the thing: is I really should. And it's like last night with we were What's It In and Mario Kart in, and I went from I can't just have one crisp. It's the claw. Go in a bag, and it's like handfuls.
But yeah, because it's
the sensory thing of having a full mouth, and
dopamine fix,
chewing through, like having a brownie. Brownie's just like the dopamine in my face, as it just like it's not like I have to have one. It's like when we went to M&S earlier and they have the tubs. I don't just put one in my mouth. I'll fill my mouth, and I don't know what that is. I don't know whether it's a fight or flight thing because I've always been anxious and it's like must eat, may run.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is. But when I'm feeling really anxious, it's like that's just how I feel. And normally when I'm feeling really chill, people are like, oh my God, Simon, you've barely eaten today. And I go, yeah, maybe I've skipped a meal. And sometimes that's a result of, taking the ADHD medication. I just don't feel hunger like I normally do.
But you didn't eat the breakfast I made for you. I made him a breakfast, a full English. I painstakingly put this thing together. And
people listening,
you didn't eat it, and now I'm crying.
I'm crying. In my defense,
there's no defense.
In my defense, people, it was within that 2.5 hour window of when I'm awake, when I first wake up, where nothing really works. So
I'm just saying, you obviously don't love me as much as I love you.
Oh, don't guilt trip me.
No, I mean if you make me a breakfast, I'll eat your sausage. And the next thing we have addictions
That was a
to.
hard edit.
There's no edit there. This is the adult version of the show. And the next thing we're addicted to, video games. Obviously, we were talking about games on the phone.
Yeah.
But for me, and I've talked about this before, my worst addiction was Gears of War. And
Great game.
Just great game. But I was so good at it that I just got completely and utterly obsessed with it to like a really harmful degree, where it's not I forgot my children existed, I'd still be present sort of in their lives. But I'll give you an example. So I'm in the middle of a game, I'm hosting it, and then it's, I've got to go and pick up my kids from school, primary school. So I tell everyone, okay, just bear with me and I'll be back. And I pick up my kids, bring them home, put them in front of the TV and gave them spaghetti hoops, and then went back to my game. And I think about that now. And although it lasted only 2-3 months where I was like heavily addicted till Sylvia pointed it out. And I actually changed a lot since I put that game away. It just didn't matter that my kids were there. And I hate it. I look back, I hate it. And I'm like, how did I let that happen? And I know it's because of this need for dopamine, this absolute need for dopamine. And that's what I was getting in these games, is every time I was in there and I was winning and I was good at something and
making friends.
That was it. It wasn't just the game I'm addicted to. It's the online gaming.
And you had clout as well, because you would have been a good player. People would have blown smoke up your ass.
People talk to me all the time, asking me, inviting me to play and challenging me. Oh, you're so good. I want to take you down. And I was so good at that game. And I felt like I was actually popular for once. And I had friends, and I was in a team, because that's what Gears of War is. It's 4 versus 4, and you're in a team, and people cared about what I said, and it was addictive. It was super addictive, because I'd never had that. I'd never been popular in my life.
And things are the most addictive when you've never done it before.
Yeah,
it's like when you have that. Oh my god! I found this new amazing thing. I am feeling so great right now, and you almost get a new mask that is paired with the addiction. And then you don't want to lose who you are when you have that thing. So you just it's symbiotic. You bond with it. And that's why it's so hard to give up.
It was like, oh, I'm not just a dad. Because for many years, I was so focused on being a dad that was my entire personality, was parent. And I think that's wrong. And I know there's a lot of parents that go, I will do anything for my kid.
My kid's my world.
My kid's my whole world. And I'm just going to put it out there. That's just not true, because eventually they will grow up, and, a lot of them will leave and they'll have their own life. And then where are you at? And for Sylvia and I, in my life, Sylvia comes first.
Yeah.
She's my number one. My kids are not my number one. My kids are both my number two, equally. But my wife, she goes above everyone. Everyone. It's not even, it's like not close. Obviously I super love my kids. I do anything for my kids. But with Sylvia, I can't be without Sylvia.
It's a partnership, isn't it?
Yeah. My kids, Sophie's actually moved out. She's living in Cornwall. And I'm okay that she's not here, because I know that she's living her best life and she's super happy.
She's smashing it.
And I know that Simon's going to be doing the same. He's going to move out, but I don't often see him. He's out a lot of the time with all his friends and his girlfriend, and he's out.
Super social, isn't he?
Yeah, he's super social now. He's absolutely brilliant. He's really, really flourished lately. And my kids, of course they need me. They're always going to need me, but they don't depend on me. Sylvia depends on me. We depend on each other. Some people would say it's unhealthy, but I say it depends on the people. But we are completely codependent. But you look at it, like she's in Poland right now, and we haven't talked. I've messaged and we've chatted a bit on Messenger.
But on the phone with her.
I was literally on the phone just before we started, and she was like, how are you doing? Everything okay? Love you. And basically said the same back. Everything's great. How are you? She's fine. Everything's good. And I said, I'm doing the podcast. I'll see you later. And she's like, oh, have fun. Love you. Bye. And that's the only interaction. So although we do have this codependency, and I do miss her, it's not unhealthy. I don't think anyway.
No, and I think that's I think that's a great point, really, because I'm really close with Karis, and like I would say, yeah, we are a bit of a codependency, and I'm down here with you, hanging out for a couple of days. We're gonna have a few recording sessions. We've been to see Alien today, which has been awesome. It was so freaking good. But anyway, yes, codependency. My partner's very important, and I need her because life sucks without her. And anyway.
But that can, like we were talking about video games, me getting addicted, and I came out of it, and I can still play video games, and that's why I don't have them on my phone, because I'm worried, that I'll get that addiction to that. But it is interesting talking about our other halves, because you can get addicted to people. You can get addicted to humans, like to the level where like that person could be easily taking advantage of you, but you don't even notice because you're just lost in this friendship.
And especially like when you've never had friends before, like I was saying to you earlier, when you've never been good at a video game, when you've never had friends. That's the thing, is like when you have a friend who reciprocates what you give to people, it can be addicting. And you go, oh, we've got a brotherhood, we've got, we're more than friends. I've had people say that to me before, and then I've never felt it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I was literally saying, like, so many of us have been treated so badly when we're younger.
I've lost money when
we're older. We're like, oh, it's a friend. Oh my God, that person's treated me nice.
I let a dude live on my sofa for like 4.5 months because I felt sorry for him. And then I realised he thought he was really clever because he wasn't paying rent.
Ugh. But
that sucked.
We can get addicted to bad people as well, like, because a lot of the times we will only try and see the good, like literally just try and see the good. And
I used to apologise for so many people's behaviours, and I was like, oh, they can't help it, and oh, they're going through a really bad time, and I always used to make excuses for people and then never allow myself to have that sort of like empathy for myself. And that could be a really toxic place where you believe other people over yourself. It's like people are like, you're only doing that because this is going on. And I would just be like, yeah, okay. Because I just blindly trust people that I think have my best interest.
And that's it, because, most people don't.
I'm like, oh my God. Yeah,
we always hope that they do.
Yeah, I'm always like, oh, this person, I finally met somebody that gives a crap about me.
Yeah.
And when you're with that person, you feel safe and in friend. Like, yeah, I had a friend who I really thought was my brother, and he really let me down.
I'm sorry about that.
But we've talked about that, how when you have a friend in your tan, you love hard. Like, you give everything to a friendship if you find the right people.
Is this when we kiss?
Hey, putting that behind a paywall. But yeah, that's heartbreaking when you think you have a friendship, and then rather than being addicted to somebody, you go teetotal from everybody. And that sucks. Like, you just don't trust anybody anymore, and you almost I do anyway. Like, I've talked about big pendulum swings of reactions, very black and white thinking sometimes, and like wanting to be somebody's friend and have their attention, and then they have other friends and you feel dumped. And
God, yeah. If you're not the only, because like if you only have one friend or one particular friend that you're like, okay, that's the best one, and they have lots of other friends, and you do massively feel just so left out.
Oh yeah,
just so left out,
big time.
And that person, they could be absolutely your friend and want to spend time with you, but it's not easy. I speaking from someone that's gone from 0 friends to like more than I can actually handle. Yeah. So I've got so many friends.
I feel more myself with you than like I've never had good male friends. I've made friends with girls quite easily. And a lot of the time people used to think that I was like trying to be seedy, but I actually just enjoy the company of women. I always have, really. I think it's because I used to spend a lot of time with my mum.
Yeah.
And I've just always really enjoyed the company of women. And because I find the joshing thing hard because I don't know how to do it. I mean, I know how to do it, but I say the most horrific crap, and then
I struggle with you and Pickle being my absolute best friends because I'm very much a taking the mickey kind of guy.
Yeah.
I love banter, and Sylvia and I are brilliant at it. We are perfect in sync. But when I try and do it with you two, it's literally, I feel like I'm just bullying you. I'll be honest. I just feel like I'm just picking on some very, very obviously disabled, achalalia, autistics.
But the thing is when I'm masking, I'm savage. Like I've got loads of one-liners. People are always saying, "Oh, you're really witty. You've always got a comeback." Inside, I'm like, that's the mask. It's like people are always, like, I'm at work and I have some cracking one-liners, dude, where I say to people and they go like, "Oh," I do it a lot, and like I try and talk to people at work, and sometimes I'm like, "Wow, I wish I could be this me for myself that I am for other people." And it's like I've never really had a lot of male friends. Like you are my closest male friend. Like I talk to you about stuff that I don't talk about with people, and because I feel comfortable in my skin, and like you feel like family. You don't feel like my friend. That's why I consider other people my friend.
If I was your brother,
Beautiful, nice.
Would you tell me that?
More of that song. Yeah. Addiction. What else were we talking about?
Well, the other thing, I mean, people can get addicted to loads of things, by the way. Just in general, when you've got that need for that dopamine fix, there can be plenty of things that we can get addicted to that aren't harmful. Some people are addicted to singing. Some people are addicted to dancing. I was addicted to taking photos right at the beginning. Now I'm a lot easier and it's calmed down. At the beginning, I was taking so many photos that my daughter actually came to me and was crying and said, "I don't feel like when we're out doing things that you are there, because we just lose you behind the camera because you just take pictures of everything." Yeah. And she said,
like that with microphones.
And she was basically, "I just want my daddy back, that's present." And I had a meltdown, and I threw my camera in a bush, and I wasn't angry at her. I was angry at me, and I made that clear to her. I was like, "Oh, I hate myself, because that's where I will always go. Like straight away, I hate myself, not, oh, I hate the thing that I'm doing, and the thing I'm doing is wrong. It's just, I immediately just hate myself, which is, I can go into the details of that one.
Yeah.
But essentially that's from my childhood. But yeah, so I was super addicted. And like I said, I've been addicted to things that have affected my life, but it didn't harm me so much. I mean, food may be very, very large, which isn't great, but now I'm okay. So I want to talk about the ones that I do think are scary, and that is drugs, both legal and illegal. You can get addicted to prescribed drugs.
Alcohol, vapes.
Yeah, you can get addicted to drugs that are legal, but you will get, can get addicted to drugs that are illegal. So, both are out there, both taking people's lives. They're taking people's livelihoods. They're taking them away from their family because of such deep addictions to these substances that are designed to be addictive, just as the algorithms on the phones are, and then food and sugar is. And I do feel like we are just fighting the world because the world wants us to be addicted, because an addicted person is a distracted person, and that distracted person will happily spend more money.
Oh, and let me check my book on focus. Page 1, don't have ADHD.
Oh, yeah. It's all that fault. And, obviously we have drugs that we can take, methylphenidate, which is another thing that you can get addicted to.
I had my first one in 3 months today.
Yeah.
Crikey, I feel alive.
It was like just a reboot. And it was
I kind of just came back and I was like, where have I been for 3 months? It was crazy.
I was excited to see the best version of you.
Version of me?
No?
Oh.
There's a great version of you. And then there's an even greater version of you. Your minimum is great.
So, like that? Here's
a question.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been addicted? So we're not going to go into details of what the drug is, but have you been addicted to a drug?
Yes.
Drug, not alcohol or tobacco.
No, but I have seen what it does to people. And, working in London, one of the amazing things is the amount of people that do cocaine. It is shocking the amount of people that get on a packet on a Saturday, take it from a lad who works part-time in a bar.
No, I remember actually having a conversation with a guy who worked in finance, and he's like, yeah, just literally everyone's doing it.
I
And
worked
that
in
was like
radio,
10 years
dude,
ago.
and fair few people were doing it. And I worked in a variety of places, and every place I worked, at least somebody was doing it on
Yeah.
shift.
I mean, I just never have. I just the idea of putting something up my nose actually makes me really super cringe. I don't know if I would. I've never done any pills. I think I read, like, when I was younger, this girl, 13-year-old girl, took an E and died.
Yep.
And
I've seen somebody die from an E right in front of me.
Oh my god, dude! Really?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yep.
That's
Leeds
that
Fest.
is
So
traumatizing.
he was 18, I think.
Dude.
I watched him go grey in front of me.
My god, man.
Yep.
Dude.
Sucked ass. It's horrible. But
eidetic memory as well. That's not. Oh my god. See, drugs are bad. Okay.
I didn't see his face, but I did see what
Drugs
the
are bad.
paramedics were doing to him to try and keep him alive. Because the thing is, I couldn't look away.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah. I mean, I've never been addicted to a drug. I've partied, and I've had a fair few life experiences, and found myself in some situations where I've done some crap I probably shouldn't have done. But that is also the part of me not being able to recognize doing dangerous crap and just being like, oh, this is fun. Oh, everyone else is doing it. Now I kind of have to. Otherwise, I'm going to be a loser and no one will like me.
Yeah.
And that is a difficult position to find yourself in, especially going to a university in London. So kind of had those sorts of life experiences. And there have been a few times, one particular time, where I was really scared. And it's what kind of made me go, no, I don't want that in my life. And it was kind of just partying, drinking, and just doing crap I shouldn't be doing. And after that, I was kind of like, you need to get your head screwed on. You need to start looking after yourself and stop just following the crowd and being a sheep and just trying to fit in. And
which is another addiction. Just trying to be liked.
Trying to be liked and chasing likes. Yeah. And got myself in one particular time where I was really, really frightened, and made me think back to that kid and was like, crap, that's going to be me. What's my mum going to think? What are my parents, what are they going to do? How awful for them. And then once I got into that train of thought, it was like, with the eidetic memory, all the imagery, it was just a really, really frightening experience, especially being on something and then having a meltdown.
Yeah, I bet.
It was horrific. Now I look back on it in that experience. So, unfortunately, when you're chasing stimulation, when you take something like that, you feel stimulated. And it's weird. It's like if you've done party drugs and then you go for a beer, it's not enough. Never feels enough. It's like if you have a friend who walks into a bar and they've got something in their pocket, they become everybody's best friend really quickly, and you'll either be in the crowd or out of the crowd. And when you don't want to be out of the crowd, unfortunately, you'll do things to be in the crowd.
Yeah, there's that peer pressure.
It is easy to fall into it. And it always amazes me when people talk about, they go, oh, I never do drugs. I've never even seen a drug. And I'm like, I've seen like 3 today, like just out and about. Like once you see that world, you just see it everywhere. And it amazes me how many people don't think people do drugs. It's like we take methylphenidate. I know people that take like a lot of medications to feel normal. I can't remember the last time I ever felt sober with medication I take, even like vitamins I take. When I take lion's mane, I feel a whoa.
Really?
Like,
I've heard it's good.
A little tingle. I've got some upstairs. I'll give you some. But you do get a feeling from it. And I can't ever really remember feeling sober from about the age of 18, because I've smoked cigarettes and I've quit smoking cigarettes. I used to be a big drinker, and now I'm not a drinker at all. Like, just doesn't really do it for me. We had a cider last night. That was nice.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have 10.
No, you literally shared the bottle.
Yeah.
Shared 2 bottles.
And I wasn't like, let's go to the shop and get more because we've run out. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through situations where like that, where I would just like drink a lot, but like I barely drink now. Like if someone's like, oh, you got any alcohol in the house, I have to go look for it. I don't I have no idea what we have.
Yeah,
or
I've
where
got
it is.
dusty bottles on my drinks cabinet. The fact it's not even a drinks cabinet anymore, it just has stuff on top of it, and there's just drinks in it somewhere.
So with my fear, I would never I never got addicted to anything, like illegal drugs. But with the amount of pain that I've had with different injuries, like my knee or my neck, obviously my lower back, which is the worst one.
Yeah, I mean, preach! I felt that this week.
Yeah, literally, back pain is the absolute bane of my life.
Really awful feeling.
It is my actual true physical disability, and it stops me from doing a lot of things. It makes me very disabled, and it upsets me. But I do have to take tramadol. I do have to take drugs to get through the day sometimes when I have severe pain. And I was always told, you've got to be careful because you can get addicted to these things. A lot of people do get addicted.
Opioids are frightening, dude.
People get addicted to these things. Scary stuff. So, and I know someone that got addicted to them and had to wean themselves off of a pain drug. But it just doesn't do it for me. It's weird. It stops the pain, but it doesn't actually make me feel any different. And I have the same with methylphenidate. So you were like, it's really switched me on. I completely feel the difference. I actually don't feel the difference when I do or don't take it. The only difference I feel is that because I can think better and I can think straighter and I have less, distracting noise in my head, I don't get annoyed at things. I don't have meltdowns. Yeah. Or if I do have a meltdown, it's actually a meltdown that it will feel like a meltdown, but I don't actually react. So it's like I'm having a meltdown, but I'm like, oh no, I'm actually not going to annoy and punch a wall or, kick a door or something. I'm not going to lash out or I'm not going to have a physical meltdown. Yeah. It's just going to be in my head and I'm going to get through it and I can just think clearer. But when it comes to doing like day-to-day tasks, it doesn't really change me. I don't know why. But it has the effect that you're saying that it just, I definitely feel like I'm on a, literally, it works like that for everyone else I know. Every single other person. I'm the only person I know that when they take it, I don't notice any difference whatsoever, except that I don't get angry.
So this is, I'm more than happy to talk about this. Yeah. So in the times that I've done party drugs, everyone around me was, the chewing your ear off, the lips are really dry, the jaws are swinging, the pupils are dilated. Me, I was like I am now. Just like,
chill.
I feel so comfortable in this space right now. That feeling was addicting. The drug wasn't addicting. The feeling of calm was addicting.
Yes, this is the thing
I've heard. I had a couple of beers and then somebody had, slide something under the table and everyone would have a little bit over the course of the night. All my friends are chewing my ear off and in the smoking area, bang, 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 cool, calm, collected. And I liked that person that I was when I felt like that. That was what was addicting. And there have been times, especially when they put me on 54s, crikey, there was a couple of times where I was like, if somebody puts a beat on, I'm going to just put some shades on me and that's what it felt like. And there was a couple of times where I was like really jittery and I remember turning to Karis and I was like, I feel like I'm coming up. And there was a couple of times where I was like, no, I don't like it now. I want it to stop.
And, sorry if you had them.
And that's why I reduced my dose down to 36, which has been the balance for me. But if I'm 100% honest, which with you guys, I always am, it's what I felt like when I was partying. I felt cool and felt chilled and feel like I could process my thoughts and my ideas were clear. And when I kind of look at a lot of artists or authors that I like that are tan but have also had difficulties with substance abuse, I've liked their work. I've related to it. And I've found enjoyment in a lot of that stuff. And do you know what? I've kind of thought about it and gone, my mum's going to listen to this. I'm a little bit like, maybe I should stop talking about it. But then I am reminded, like I said at the beginning, maybe this conversation will help somebody.
I really hope it does because, it does show the difference. That, there is nothing wrong with admitting addiction because, it takes people away. And there's nothing wrong with admitting, that you're going to try something because especially when you're the alternative neurotype. Like I was talking about the bullying, and you always felt like you're left out and ostracized. And a lot of the times we will have problems. Achalalia, which we're going to talk about on another episode. We'll have problems with communication. It is part of the autism and ADHD diagnosis is the struggle for communication, struggle to get your thoughts into words.
Yeah,
it's a common trait that we all seem to have in certain social situations, and that's when we will turn to alternative sources like for self-medicating. So there'll be a lot of like undiagnosed or diagnosed and just can't get hold of anything to help ADHD people who are self-medicating, and there'll also be a lot of autistic people who, in my opinion, should at least try to go on methylphenidate, because, like I said, all it's done for me is actually stop my meltdowns, which is my autistic symptoms in brackets. My autistic behaviours is meltdowns, and methylphenidate stopped my meltdowns, or it's certainly stopped my self-harming ones as well. So it might help other people. Just saying.
Feels like putting a helmet on for me. Like I can't bang my head if I've got an helmet on, so I don't do it. Genuinely, what it feels like, it's like a weighted blanket for my brain, and then my eyes are just like, it's like the lights are on, and I've got like a comfy blanket on, and it's raining outside. That's what my brain feels like. It's like calm, like being inside a lighthouse and there's a storm outside. Whereas the storm's on the inside when I haven't got it.
So they will turn to these sources of things, and then they get addicted to that. I had a friend right at the beginning of this journey. It didn't last, but not all friendships do. But she was addicted to alcohol. She was an alcoholic, and one day she was more inspired, to be herself around people, because she was just terrified to be herself around other people. So she was wearing not just a mask, but like a super mask, because when you are inebriated, you really do change your personality.
Yep, your personality dialed up to 11, you unlock bits that you didn't know were in there sometimes.
And that's the thing. She thinks like she's being all social and perfect and great. All she's doing is being more talkative, and then getting nervous, and then saying like things that might upset people and stuff like that, because that's what you happen when you lose those.
Yeah, you filter.
Yeah, literally.
Focus off, doesn't it?
When you're inebriated, you just lose all sense of reality a lot of the time, which obviously might make you a more popular and fun person rather than the person in the corner that just doesn't want to talk to people, which, is actually me. And the reason why I could talk about this is because this is how I was. So if I went to a party, I went to a gathering, I would not be able to talk to people until I'd had alcohol. A little bit like Raj from Big Bang Theory. I needed alcohol to be able to be confident to talk to people.
Yeah, same.
And now I don't. I don't need any stimulation. I don't need alcohol.
I don't like who I am when I'm drunk. He's an arse. Genuinely.
I've never seen it. I've never seen that side of you, and I'm glad.
It's not that I'm a bad person. It's that because I've been bullied, and you'll get this, I've got a venomous tongue. It's why I never snap back, because I don't know where the gauge is, so I just don't. Yeah. Because unfortunately for me, I don't think of something that will get a laugh. I think of something that will wound.
Yeah.
So I say niche.
Mm-hmm.
But when I have a drink, he says whatever the F he likes.
Oh, right, it's all coming out, yeah.
And I say things I don't mean, and then I can't take them back. So I just don't do it. And it's not that, like, I do bad stuff. I'm not myself. I start playing up. And it's like, I start joshing around and being boisterous, and I'm just doing behaviours of what I think people will like, not who I am. And I really don't like that. It's like I can be inebriated and have a couple of drinks and be chilled, but I don't need it to fit in. And unfortunately, muscle memory is very powerful. And when I have a lot of drinks, I start being like, hey guys, look at me. I hate that guy. It's like I cringe. I say stuff that ain't true. I'm just like, who the F is this guy? And it's my mask. And that's what it is. I have a drink and my mask goes back up because I'm not driving anymore. The person who I am on this microphone is my favourite person in the whole world.
It's one of my favorite people in the whole world.
I love who I am on the mic. Like, I feel really relaxed, and like where I am compared to episode 1. Wow. It's crazy. Like, but this person is creeping into everyday life, and like at work, I'm way more confident than I used to be. I have to like, watch my mouth, but I'm way more confident than I used to be. And drink just doesn't do it for me like it used to. It used to be my get out of jail free card to fit in, and now it's just doesn't do. I see what it does to people.
I think
doesn't do it for me.
I think it's fair to say that we are both probably in one of the best places we've ever been in our lives. Ever.
I have everything I could possibly want, and now I'm at the stage of I don't know what I want.
Yeah, well, which is fair enough. I mean, but you got a bright future. You're looking to buy a house, and I'll send you some pop characters so you can make a room for me. I'll send you some of my cuddly toys. Yeah,
I have 5, and she's like,
just for me.
Too many.
No, but bloody hell, Carrie, I've got over 100 pop characters.
And she's like, hell.
I'm a proper popper. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm gonna make it a thing.
Roy Popper.
No, Sylvia thinks they're really cute. She actually likes them.
That's cool. I'll tell you what, mate. It's a good job she does, because they're everywhere.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot more than I thought there'd be.
Oh, dude, you haven't seen my bedroom. There's even more in there.
There's some in your bedroom.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I had to put them somewhere. They've got to go on shelves.
You make them watch.
No, I turn them away. Ugh. Yes, I do. Spider-Man has seen things that he'll never unsee.
If you want to hear a more relaxed adult version of this podcast, get in touch with us. Maybe we'll make it.
Yeah, we're doing it now. Okay, so it's we have had these problems. I think methylphenidate has helped me a lot, and I definitely wouldn't say I'm addicted to it. I say that it's a bit like if you're diabetic and you need insulin, that's going to keep you going and it's going to keep you alive. And that's how I do feel about methylphenidate.
Yeah,
is because it makes me think more clearly, and I have put myself in very risky situations in my life where I could have died, and I do put that down to that dopamine fix and over hyper focus. And methylphenidate can actually save lives, and that is a factual statistic.
And it needs to be
saves lives.
Considered a lifelong medication.
Yes, it does. There is a lot of problems that we have with the classification of this drug, and it should be free because it's lifelong, and 2, them not getting it is like them not getting insulin for diabetic people. We can die. It can massively ruin our lives sometimes, just being so distracted, having so much going on in your head. And it has been a huge hindrance in my life. And since discovering, that there is a drug out there that can stop that feeling of overwhelmingness.
It unlocks your potential as well in a sad way.
Yeah,
it really made me go, what more could I have done with this? Like, I think about all the time in my 20s, all the opportunities I had that I couldn't juggle because I didn't have the full capacity that I have today. Pisses me off. I'm like, why didn't it get picked up in school? Why didn't I have the opportunity to do that? Why didn't I get a free laptop at uni?
Yeah.
And I've had to just kind of fight through it. But here we are. Every day's a new day. Every day improves. Everything gets a little bit better because you're in it. So yeah, let's think about wrapping up, because looking at the time.
Yeah, let's just do
quote of the week.
If you drive a car and you don't know what an indicator is, hand in your driving license as soon as possible. Because if you're not using it, you don't have fingers, because it's right next to your hand when you're driving. That's it. That was my quote.
I have nothing to add to that.
Yeah,
After a 6-hour drive down to see you.
And I didn't call them
back to you in the studio. Right, well, guys, I think that wraps us up quite nicely towards the end of this episode. This was a bit of a rehearsal for us at Autistic Minds Live on the 20th of September. It's a Friday. It's at Cardiff, at the City Stadium.
And if you don't turn up,
he'll be really sad.
I'm going to be so sad.
If one of you turns up, I'll be gassed.
And I'll be like, there's only one of you. that one will get like a VIP tour, and I'll even teach them photography for the day.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, then make more. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
But if there's more, well, then you can just get selfies and hugs.
Yeah.
I will be available.
We'll also have merch
both.
as well, so if you want to get some goodies,
Yeah. Buy things from us.
please, so that we can keep doing this.
Yes.
So that we can afford better equipment, because
Buy more
it
watches.
really didn't work earlier, did it?
No, but we need more what's it. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.